Welcome back, everyone, to the eCoreAcademy e-learning platform today. My name is AJay Raj, back with this new anatomy and physiology video for you all. And today we're going to be taking a special look at the skeletal system overview. I know that a lot of you have been patiently waiting for this overview, as this is one of the first systems that I actually started on this course for anatomy and physiology. But finally, here it is. I'm going to be going through what the actual skeletal system is. We're going to discover the importance of it and its overall function within the body. So we're going to take a general standpoint of what exactly it might be and some of the future lessons that we'll be looking through in this skeletal system section of the anatomy and physiology course. But before we get into that, please make sure to do 5 things now. Please make sure to smash that subscribe button down below if you haven't already. Turn on the like button, smash that like button on this video. Turn on post notifications by clicking that little bell icon right next to that subscribe button. Drop a comment down below, and please make sure to share this video through YouTube and also through any of your other social medias and other social media accounts so that you can help others with these similar topics and just spread this information overall. It's some cool information that all of us can relate to because this is anatomy and physiology, something that we're all composed of and we all should be aware of to some degree. So thank you all for tuning in, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. I just want to introduce the skeletal system to you in a more layman way. I want to show you guys in a much more simplistic way what exactly the skeletal system is and break down some of the simple importance of what the skeletal system actually provides to the body. We all go through these stages in our life where we're questioning what we're learning, and sometimes we're like, is this really necessary? Why do we have to learn all these complex topics, cram that into our brain, trying to learn them, but for what reason? Well, anatomy and physiology with the skeletal system, it's very vital, and we have to see exactly how the skeletal system incorporates itself into the body. And I'll be the advocate for that. I'm going to sell this point to you, and hopefully you all agree with me that it is important and that it is necessary to know it to some degree. So, like I said, best question to ask yourself is, what is the skeletal system? You may have heard of the skeleton overall. Maybe Halloween when you're going trick-or-treating, you've seen skeletons all over, all over people wearing them as costumes. They're a very popular Halloween costume, something to dress up as. You've probably seen skeletons in your classrooms, and you probably know what basic bone structures are in your body. You can feel them. And when you're moving, you can see that you do feel stress on your joints in certain areas. So you do have some relation to the skeletal system. But I want to break apart what are some of its 4 major functions, and maybe you'll start to realize, oh yeah, this does make a lot of sense because of this and this outcome. So I want to show you guys on a simplistic level what the importances are, and then we'll start to bridge into more complex topics on how exactly these functions are carried out by the skeletal system. Simple enough. So the skeletal system, by definition, has 4 main purposes to provide for the body, and that includes protection and support for the body. It also provides movement for the body. All of the body's movement is generated by the skeletal system when it comes to exterior motion. It also stores minerals, and it's responsible for the blood cell production, utilizing its bone marrow. Without your skeleton, your body would be an unsupported blob of flesh. That's the best way that I can actually put it. Without any structure or hard mass in the inside of your body. And also, not to say, these do actually have very important roles when it comes to minerals and homeostasis and actually producing cells for the whole body. So organically, it has a lot of function. But also, just not having hard mass, you'd just be a blob of flesh looking in from the outside. Not only would you have, calcium deficiency, mineral deficiency, and lack of blood cell production, but you would also just be an unsupported blob of flesh, like I said before, with a collapsible structure. So you would essentially have absolutely no structure. This would really affect your body system, and this would change exactly how humans are. We would have evolved to a completely different level, and I'm just telling you, we wouldn't have looked as attractive as we are now without our bones in our body. So we should all be thankful we should all be thankful for our skeleton. We should also take the proper precautions to protect it and keep it healthy by knowing exactly what it is and what it needs. So just as an example, we have the cranium right here. This is the skull, specifically looking at the exterior part. The part that actually houses your brain is the cranium of the skull. The skull consists of your jaw, your cranium, your temple, all these different bones, and also has the direct connection from the jaw to the teeth. As you can see, the cranium itself, it looks like it has small little cracks and crevices. Well, our cranium is actually not entirely one bone. It's actually composed of multiple different bones that were once separate that were actually fused together like little puzzle pieces, and that was when you were a child. So, like that, there's many complex structures within the body, and I really would like to introduce those to you. I had a blast, absolute blast learning this for Science Olympiad, and I can't wait to share that information to you as quickly, efficiently, and as fun. Making it as fun as possible. And on the right, we have our arms, essentially arms leading to our hands, from our wrists to our fingertips. So here we have certain structures such as the phalanges, the carpals, and the metacarpals of the hands. The carpals and the metacarpals of the wrist, and then the phalanges, which are your ending parts of your fingers. These are all very important, not only bones, but also joints involved. So they all help produce motion, and they're all involved in those four structures, as I said before, and those four main purposes. All right, without further ado, let's jump right into it, to the four major functions. So let's start off with our first function, diving into essentially our skeletal system overview now, getting really more into the meat of exactly what this lesson's about. So with our first function, we have protection and support. The skeletal system is the arrangement of 206 bones within the body that are responsible in providing a contained structure and overall support for the body's important processes. So, cool fact, if you didn't know, the body actually consists of 206 bones, but when you were a baby, you actually had 312 bones. I know it's weird. You might think that, oh, I'm smaller, I should have less bones, but that's different. A lot of your bones were actually not fused together. This is so that your tissue, your muscles could actually grow properly. And could support those smaller bones. But as soon as you grew essentially into past your infancy, into your toddlerhood, you started to have those bones fusing together, and that's why a lot of those bones became one bone, not just multiple fragments. So now, officially, as an adult or as a child, you have 206 bones, and they help in providing your structure, keeping you upright, keeping all of your organs, your sensitive tissue, all in the right spot so that your body itself can conduct proper processes without harming itself. So, like I said before, it helps in protecting the soft tissue. This can be muscle tissue, this can be skin, all of these, and also organ tissue. These are different types of tissue within the body that actually help in producing cells and maintaining the body's homeostasis. So obviously bones are located throughout the body, and with its hard mass, it maintains structure for organs and muscles to work properly. Without that proper structure, your organs and muscles would be mixed all together, and they wouldn't have proper connectivity, and they wouldn't be protected in that manner because they don't have a hard mass to protect them and give them structure. So this allows them to function properly with the protection and support that the skeletal system provides. And just as like a simple example here, we have the rib cage. This is a frontal and axial back view. This is axial view. You're looking from the front and back. Caudal, like I said before in my previous anatomy and physiology terms video. The rib cage actually helps in protecting the diaphragm area. Many important organs are located here, such as the heart, and the lungs, and also the upper part of the spleen. It helps in protecting those vital organs and providing structure to them, whilst also helping in providing structure for the muscles, like your pectoral muscles and your lateralis, your lats on the back, on the back of your body, responsible for pulling motion. So they help in protecting them and helping engaging them properly, just as organs contain their processes to help muscles also function properly. And then on the right here, we have the knee joint, which connects the humerus to the lower part of the leg, the tibula and the fibula. And in this manner, it helps in protecting not only through the bone, but also through the joint. It helps in lubricating and protecting the joint and protecting the surrounding muscle. Your essentially those tendons that go down through your knee, it helps protect those. And it also helps in protecting your quadriceps that lead to the knee and pass downwards into your calves. Also on the backside, it helps protecting your hamstrings as well. So it protects all those tendons and muscles, like I said before, and those soft tissues that encapsulate those muscles and tendons. All right, now let's move on to the second function, which is movement. And this is one of my favorite functions to talk about in the skeletal system, because it's one that is oftentimes confused. Many times people confuse it with the muscular system. They think, oh, muscle actually provides movement, it provides that motion because you're flexing and contracting. So technically your muscular system has to provide movement and motion. Well, that's not exactly true. The skeletal system is actually responsible for the actual movement of your body because it's a whole structure of the body. However, the muscular system does allows for the movement of the body, meaning it moves and manipulates the bones in order to conduct movement. Just a little spoiler to this bullet point. Through the development of joints and specific arrangements throughout the body of bones, the skeletal system provides movement for the body by putting stress on a joint or a bone. So it'll utilize its muscle or tendons and any other parts of the body to actually put stress on a joint or a bone, to contract it, move it, extend it, all different ways by utilizing those muscles to pull and pull and extend bones away from their central point. So like I said before, skeletal muscles and tendons, these attach directly to the bones. Like, they're called skeletal muscles because they actually provide that movement. And they contract or extend, putting direct stress on the bone and joint to generate any type of movement. So as an example, we have the elbow joint here. And on the top, we have the upper part of the arm meeting into the radius and the ulna. So in this manner, I apologize. Let me just go right back here. Talking about the knee here, I meant to say that this was the femur. I apologize. This is a disclaimer. The upper part of the leg is not the humerus; it's the femur. But the upper part of the arm is the humerus. So this part of the arm right here is the humerus, meeting in the elbow joint to the radius and the ulna, the two other bones that make up the lower arm, meeting the upper arm here. And in this manner, what's happening is the biceps that are located on top of your humerus actually contract. So when they contract, they actually bring your arm closer towards the rest of your body. That's bringing your radius and your ulna closer towards your body, with the pivot point, this stability, located right at your humerus. All right, now on to our third function. We have the storage of minerals. So the storage of minerals happens in a certain part of the bone, and this is called spongy bone, which is the interior part of the bone. On the exterior part of the bone, it's really just a mass of bone. It's just hard bone that helps in providing that structure and that function. Structure and protection. But the spongy bone has more of its physiological characteristics. So it's filled with small lacunae. As you can see, spongy bone, as you can probably tell, that it has a lot of holes in it. So lacunae are literally small cavities or holes within your spongy bone where mineral storage is available. So those small holes allow for cells and minerals to store and pass through. And items such as calcium and phosphorus are stored and circulated from soft bone to bone marrow. This is essentially where these minerals like calcium and phosphorus and these elements are being stored. And then they're being circulated from soft bone to bone marrow. So soft bone being your spongy bone, it's being circulated to the bone marrow in order to regenerate healthier bones. So the bone marrow is responsible for the production of red blood cells and also in producing osteocytes, which help in building up your bone. But I'll explain that in future videos. But overall, it helps in storage of minerals so that you can regenerate healthier bones, promote bone growth, lubricate joints, and increase the circulation of these exact nutrients and minerals. So just as an example, right here you can see this is an example of spongy bone located in any of your regular bones. And it has a lot of holes, it has a lot of gaps, so that it's a lot more permeable. It can allow for more cells to pass through, and it can store more minerals inside as well. And like I said, two of the main things that are stored in this spongy bone include calcium and phosphorus. Those are just two examples. There are others that are also dominant within spongy bone, but these are just examples that I wanted to give you. And how you can get these minerals and how they're stored is through consumption. So it's through consumption. So when you consume these minerals, you get most of these minerals by consuming them, and then they get stored within bone. But also bone can produce these minerals as well. But just as an example, you can get calcium to help assist your body in producing these minerals by drinking lots of milk. That's the number one way to get calcium. And then for phosphorus, you can find it in products such as soybeans. When you consume soybeans, you're increasing the amount of phosphorus in your body, which is necessary for your bone and bone strength. And finally, for our fourth function, we have probably one of the most important, which is blood cell production through the bone marrow. So bone marrow, spongy bone located at the base of regular bones, produces new red blood cells and stimulates the production of osteocytes. So your red blood cells are what are being circulated throughout your bloodstream. They carry oxygen, and they're necessary for your survival. It also stimulates the production of osteocytes, which essentially mature and help in building and regenerating proper bone so that your bone retains its strength, and it can also stimulate the growth of the bone. The bone marrow circulates these red blood cells that it originally produces to the rest of the body and helps increase the amount of nitrogen and oxygen that flows through the joints. So it produces these red blood cells, circulates them throughout the body, and when you do that, you're actually increasing gas exchange because, like I said before in my previous videos, red blood cells help in transporting gas, such as nitrogen and oxygen, throughout the rest of the body, and these are being recirculated back into the joints to help cushion them, the nitrogen and oxygen. And the interesting is, when you're actually cracking your joints, you're actually releasing that nitrogen and oxygen from the joints, and in that manner, you're relieving some of the stress, some of the excess built up pressure in those joints, because you might have a little bit excess of nitrogen and oxygen. But please make sure don't crack your knuckles or your joints way too often. That's not good for you. Just do it in a limited amount. And just as an example here, right here at the end, the base end of the bone itself, you can see that towards the diaphysis of the bone, there is bone marrow at the end. It looks like it's the same structure as spongy bone, concentrated towards a certain area, bases of the bone. And as you can see here, it's filled with lots of cavities and lacunae, and it helps in producing blood cells. And it's very nutritious. If you actually look at food, when you're eating, like, say, for example, lamb, it has a lot of bone marrow in it. And lamb provides a lot of that healthy nutrients back into the body. And finally, we're going to take a look at the topics that we're going to cover in this system. So this is our system outline, all the future topics, some of the lesson structures, just to plan out the future of how the system is going to look like and what you can anticipate to look at, so that you can base this video after looking at this video. You can decide which videos you would actually like to pick out, or if you want to go in direct order of it, you can plan out whenever you want to watch them and when you might want to take notes and utilize our notes on our website. So this is our list of the different topics that we're going to be covering. So we have the different types of bones, so the different classification of bones. We're going to have the different classification of joints, depending on movement, and then the types of bones is depending on appearance. And then the components of bones, so what are the different structures of bones, like spongy bone, hard bone, soft bone, all that stuff. Then we have the cells of the bone, what builds up bone, breaks down bone, and actually helps in constructing bone, as well as the cells related to bone. Such as, your collagen and other minerals like calcium that are involved in those cells. Then we have bone marrow. So we're going to go through exactly how bone marrow produces red blood cells. We're going to take a look at the skeleton itself, take a look at all the different types of bones, major groups of bones, and give all of their names and identifications. We're going to look at what exactly the joint is. We're going to take a look at some skeletal system disorders. We have to look at our disorders. As future doctors, that's very important to diagnose and identify disorders. And finally, we're going to do some research-based studies in our new section. I will decide right then and there. Keep it a bit of a surprise when I do post it, but it will be something interesting towards the skeletal system. Some really cool facts and interesting experiments that we're conducting previously, and I'll just collect that data for you all. Just a quick 10-minute video so that you all can get a quick summary of the whole skeletal system. All right, everyone, so that'll be it for today's video. I had a blast making this video. This has been the eCoreAcademy learning platform. Like I said in the beginning of the video, please make sure to do 5 things. Please make sure to like and subscribe down below, turn on post notifications, comment down below, and share our video on all media platforms. Check out our website at www.ecoreacademy.org. We have really cool note sheets, quizzes, and worksheets, just extended stuff for eCoreAcademy, so please check that out. We also have our email available at eCoreAcademy@gmail.com if you have any questions or if you just want to reach out. And also visit all of our socials in the description box down below at Pinterest, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Our TikTok is just up and coming. We'll have funny skits and videos, so please make sure to check that out. Follow us out there, and just keep watching those little skits just to get you distracted from your stressful days. So yeah, it's a real treat. All right, everyone. So thank you all for the support. This has been AJay. I had a blast making this video, like I said before, and thank you guys for the continued support. We're going to keep bringing out these great videos, so we really do appreciate your feedback and future suggestions for videos. All right, everyone. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.